Well, it started around the reign of Olu Ijijen. After the death of the first Olu, Ginuwa, one of his sons, Ijijen, went to Itsekiri, where he was welcomed. During his walk into the capital, he saw faces frowning and he asked what the problem was. The people said they couldn't be paying taxes to two masters and they couldn't have two kings. Olu Ijijen said, "Take me to this man whom they call Master." When he got to Olague's house, he said, "I am Olu Ijijen, ruler of Iwere. I've come to let you know the people of this region are now under my rule, and so all taxes being paid to you as of this moment have stopped." Olague didn't say anything or reply to his words. He went inside his house in his quarters in Itsekiri. When the Olu was going back, Olague's warriors shot an arrow against the king which scratched his shoulder. Olu Ijijen was prepared for something like that. He took his few men and took down the Olague warriors, but unfortunately Olague escaped the capital and ran away. The Itsekiris were happy and said Olague had been a tyrant, forcing them to pay taxes. The Itsekiris, being happy, gave the Olu the title Ogbawuru. But Olu Ijijen's injuries from the fight never healed. He died years later without an heir because of his condition from the fight. His brother, Olu Irame, took over as Olu of Warri. During one of his coronation anniversaries, he heard of the Olagues having a kingdom that was expanding and giving troubles to the Itsekiris in Benin River. Olu Irame wanted revenge and also knew that the Oba of Benin was tired of them. The Mahins and Benin Kingdom had a disagreement about power balance, which made the Mahins attack the Benin Kingdom communities close to the riverbanks. But they also attacked Itsekiri communities, those close to the riverbanks. The Oba of Benin planned a land invasion. The Olu of Warri, being angry at the attack on his river communities and his hatred for Olague, sent a message to the Oba. Olu Irame told the messengers to inform his cousin, the Oba of Benin, that he should prepare for war against the Mahins. He declared that he would gather his forces and together their strength would crush Olague. The war would have been won by the Mahins because honestly the Oba could not have been successful. The Mahins had naval forces, something the Benins didn't have. Their navy planned to use the large army out of Benin Kingdom to attack Benin from the back through the river. This strategy would force the Oba to retreat and put him in the middle of the war, getting attacks from both the front and back. But you see, the Mahins' navy was destroyed by the Warri Fleets. The Warri Kingdom navy was said to be the most powerful, with 30,000 men and 70,000 war canoes at the time, second only to the Bonny Kingdom navy according to Jean-François Landolph. The warriors of Warri took control of the sea and invaded through the shores. This gave an opportunity to the Oba after he heard his cousin was attacking from the river. This put the Mahin warriors in the middle of the battlefield. Most of them scattered and their citizens were displaced and ran away. When the Olu pushed further into the battlefield and saw the Oba of Benin bathing in the blood of the citizens and warriors of the Mahins, he didn't like what he saw. So he stretched his left hand to the sky and used his right hand to point to the boats at the seashores. The warriors of Warri stopped fighting immediately, seeing the beads of their king pointing to the sky and the seashores, signaling to leave the battlefield at once. The Warri Kingdom forces pulled away from the war and went back to the Itsekiri communities that were attacked, and thereafter left for Warri Kingdom's capital, Oda Itsekiri. The Oba of Benin, having learned his cousin left like that, was angry he lost a lot of manpower. The Olu of Warri later sent some loot he got from the war to the Oba of Benin, so he doesn't misunderstand his retreat from the war. Olague had already escaped to what is now known as Lagos. The Olu wasn't interested in chasing him further, but he sent the Oba of Benin 3,000 fleets, which paddled the Oba to what is known today as Echo. They were welcomed by the Awaris, who were already aware of their coming. The Awaris told them that in order to catch Olague, they needed to station themselves at 2 entry points of the area. The Awaris gave the Oba a place where he stationed himself at Echo. The Itsekiri's military were given a place where they camped at Epe, and also where they found Ijebu-speaking people. The Awaris joined in the search for Olague, then came back to tell the Itsekiri warriors that Olague was already dead. They sent word to Warri about what they were told, but the Olu of Warri told them even if Olague is dead, he wants his head. So the soldiers remained in Epe. The Oba of Benin went back without the Itsekiri escorts in a rush, after he heard there was a coup attempt back in Benin to dethrone him. But he was attacked by the Mahins, Olague, and again fought furiously to gain passage back to Benin.